Let me explain something. Okay, so jujitsu, I'm going to use that as an analogy for this whole argument. Black belts 10 years ago, maybe a bit longer. Let's say black belts 20 years ago can be compared to blue belts today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why? Because of the evolution of martial arts. It's like it's um and it's improved exponentially. It's not just like we're slightly better. Black belts just didn't know as many techniques, just because they didn't have to. It was very much self-defense oriented, very little sport jiu-jitsu at the time. But the way that it evolved, guys are today able to pull off submissions that black belts, blue belts, I'm talking about, even really good white belts, would be able to pull off submissions on black belts 20 years ago because they just wouldn't even know that that submission existed. So I think we can apply the same logic to martial artists that lived. I mean, during Bruce Lee's time, and I think Bruce Lee specifically, he was very talented, very, very talented, and he understood the discipline and the respect and the concept of mixed martial arts. What was that martial arts that he
Jeet Kune Do.
Jeet Kune Do,
Mm.
which is essentially a hybrid of a whole bunch of different martial arts, right?
It is the philosophy of mixed martial arts. In essence, it was use what's useful for you and discard what isn't.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, that ideally, I mean, most jujitsu fighters go by the same philosophy. I mean, Roger Gracie, one of the best grapplers in the world, you don't see him doing any funny things. He discards everything that has any chance of creating any sort of risk or is in any way detrimental to his preservation of energy while he's fighting. One of the biggest things in a fight. So yeah, I mean that Jeet Kune Do can be applied to jujitsu even, I suppose, if it's considered philosophy.
Jay's selling us junkies. He's selling us cuddling. This is getting ridiculous, boys.